basic explanation to understand what is going on. It is completely acceptable and expected that our stammering will go up and down, up and down, up and down, because by very definition, it is variable cyclical behavior that is environmentally cued. So you don't have to look very far for an explanation like the TMJ work that you've had and so on and so forth. And it also fluctuates based on our psychological states. So yes, so you're saying you're not feeling psychologically under pressure or whatever. That may in fact be very, very true. But your body may still register more tension in one situation and less tension in another situation. So what I'm trying to say to you is don't overthink it. Just recognize that these things are going to happen. And so the question is, what do you do about it? Obviously, if you had more ease earlier in your stammer, and if you wanted to go back to that more easy, simple, effortless stammering, one way to do that, if you're not feeling it naturally, is to be able to practice some light voluntary stammering, because that would through doing that, you're teaching your body to stammer with more ease in a more conscious, deliberate kind of a way. Now, this is going to be difficult to do, this kind of a light voluntary stammering posture as I'm doing right now. It's going to be difficult to do right off the bat because it's novel behavior. Novel behaviors are uncomfortable. Novel behaviors are not something that come naturally to us. So my recommendation would be for you to try some light voluntary stammering in your comfort zone. So with a communication partner or a partners that you feel comfortable with, you can also do it on your own with reading practice as long as you do it socially in front of somebody. The point is, get your body used to stammering a little bit easier if it's not coming naturally. And light voluntary stammering will easily over time get you there. It will also keep you desensitized. So if you're not worried about what people are thinking about you, if presentation is not associated with undue anxiety, thinking about how you're going to be judged and evaluated, and if you're just very comfortable with the content and comfortable with stammering easily, then teach yourself to do that, is my point.
Yes, sir. So I thank you so much, sir. So will the muscle re, re, relaxation exercises will also help? Uh,
You can certainly do some muscle relaxation exercises that wouldn't hurt, but it's not common to think that a muscle relaxation that you experience somewhere else in your body is going to naturally transfer into less muscle tension in your speech as well, because people overall, you might be feeling more relaxed, so that way it may have an influence, but there isn't a direct transfer effect between, let's say, progressive muscle relaxation that you might do in a meditative posture and how that transfers over into a real situation. Because real situations where communication involve other people, involve other social situations, your body is going to experience that situation very differently. So overall, obviously, long term, all these things will help. So if you practice yoga, if you do meditation, if you know some progressive relaxation, all of
correct.
that over time will help. But the short little
Uh,
spurts like this
correct.
are not going to transfer into like easier pattern. For an easier
Yeah.
speech pattern, you have to very focally uh, um, get into a posture where you're practicing that easier speech pattern. Certainly, the muscle relaxation in other ways will help you, but it's not going to be a direct transfer effect.
Yeah. As you said, actually, I can feel the experiences in my body because earlier my pulse rate used to be no normal about 70 to 75, but after doing exercises and running, I used to run in the treadmill. My
Hmm.
pulse rate has gone down to about for 45 45 to 50 in that range, so which is a very healthy range, and that goes to show that I'm in a calmer state. So, despite being calm, how can I experience this? Stiffness in speech.
Because the stiffness in speech can vary because of many other reasons, right? So the Partly it is because if you've been facing if you've been feeling more stiff in your stammer, let's say your stammer is more stiff now, you've been
Yeah.
practicing that behavior for a while.
Yes,
Whatever you
correct.
practice is going to get stronger. That's
Mm,
that's why that's why with ease, if you've been practicing ease in the past where you were stammering more easily, that was the dominant pattern. So that's going to continue. The brain is neuroplastic. So whatever behavior you engage in is going to you're going to neurologically prime yourself to sort of support that behavior over time. So hard people who have a big stammer, who stammer in this very tough physical kind of a way, will continue to stammer in a physical tough kind of way because that's becomes the basic default posture in the body. In the same way, people who stammer in an easier kind of a way, who are who experience some little roadblocks, but not, I mean, little, speed bumps, but not huge roadblocks. That becomes the dominant factor pattern. So whatever you practice in the body is going to get stronger. So you've been practicing this hard stammer for a while, and therefore that's going to maintain for a while until something changes. And spontaneously, you can rely on the fact that over time it'll get better, and maybe it will. But you can also practice some light voluntary stammering, and that will get you into a place where you can stammer more easily because that's the pattern you're practicing now.
yeah.
So yeah, so I see this as being in in fairly simple terms. If you take anxiety and stress out of the equation, if you're not hiding your stammer, if the fluency that you have is not avoidant fluency, it's your natural spontaneous fluency, then you can get back to that natural spontaneous fluency by doing it in a more deliberate kind of a way, like I'm doing right now. If I practice this light voluntary stammering, which is difficult to do also because I have to be mindful of it, but if I do it often enough, I can do it with more ease. If I don't do it, then it's going to be harder for me to do. So practice is everything.
Got it, sir. Uh,
Ra-
so I need to basically rewire my brain, right? To Yes, yes, sir. Please, please, please.
Raghu, I just wanted to ask you one question. Remember when you were living in Dehradun and you were doing your studies in
Yeah,
environmental sciences, and and on a couple of
yeah,
occasions we met also, you came to see me.
yeah.
So at one time you were deeply engaging with TISA. And
Yes,
those days, I used to always encourage you to talk to more people, and I should
yes,
also say not hide stammering, but stammer a little bit purposely when you're talking to strangers. And so at that time,
yeah.
what do you think? Was your speech better at that time than it is now? If you make a comparison.
Yeah, it
Uh,
was better, sir. No,
okay,
no, no.
okay,
It was better because I used to meet TISA people there in the the Dehradun. I
yes,
was meeting with Mohit
Mohit
and
Dwivedi,
few
yes,
others. Yeah, yeah, Mohit Dwivedi
yes, 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 yes.
and few more people also. So
Yes.
at that time, I felt a little bit okay. Yeah.
Huh. So my
Uh,
theory my
yeah.
theory
Yes.
is this. My theory is this, that at that time you were confronting your fear, and therefore your fear had receded back. And now your fear has simply come back again. You can do the same thing and fear will again go away. Because I'm getting my cue from this line in your message, in your WhatsApp message. I have stopped practicing speaking at all, leave alone public speaking, and not sure about how it will pan out. So this is what you are saying yourself,
Yes.
that for last 3 4 years when you started, when
Mhm.
you did your MTech and then you did your MBA. So in all these courses, somehow you got totally sucked into a very intellectual kind of life where everything was here, but you were not talking much with people. And you certainly were not talking
Correct.
with
Correct.
other stammerers. You certainly were not talking with other stammerers because
Yes.
I don't think there is a self-help group in Kerala. So this is what has happened, that since you have stopped all that fighting back, all that confrontation, all that acceptance, all those activities of desensitization. So because of that, your fears have come back. These are very old fear which have been with you and which are always with every stammerer. I mean, I can also be affected by
Yes.
those fears if I stop confronting my stammering, if I stop talking about it. I will also be afraid of
Yeah.
all those old fears. So I think that this is what has happened, that your old fears have come back. And since you've already dealt with them successfully once, you know what to do. And as Dr. Amit Bajaj said, you have to put in a kind of practice. You have to bring in back some kind of practice, not just knowing about stammering and about psychology and about relaxation. You have to have some kind of practice which forces you to talk to other people, strangers, on a daily basis, and purposely and deliberately introduce a little bit of disfluency in your speech so that
Which I was not doing this part. I used to speak to strangers, but I used to hold
uh,
my breath and speak it at one go.
yes.
I have been wired to speak like this for the past 4 or 5 years. So maybe that
Okay.
pattern of my speaking has changed.
Okay.
Uh,
I
Whenever I
think
speak, I will somehow complete the sentence, but I will be very stiff from within.
Okay.
Mm,
Okay. Over
yeah.
to Amit.
So I think Raghu, the reason what Dr. Sachin is saying is the way translates into something very specific is do one of the MOOC tasks. Go back to doing some of the MOOC
Sure.
tasks again. You don't have to join TOPG if you don't want to, but certainly you can take any of these tasks that involve some desensitization, doing a stammering interview, go to one of the self-help, if they meet in
Yes.
Kerala, go to virtual lounges.
No, actually, I am
Get
from
in.
Coimbatore, sir. I am
Okay.
studying in IIM,
Okay.
Kozhikode, but that is an executive program. I
Okay.
attend my classes from Ko- Coimbatore, and I travel to Kerala once in a year.
Hmm. No, I was just simply saying that wherever you
Right.
can, wherever you're able to, get more social, engage in more approach behavior, talk to more people. The more talkative you are, the better you're going to feel about your own speech, the more risks you'll be able to take with your own speech, the more experimental you're going to be with your own speech. Because I
Correct.
think all of that is going to help shift things a little bit. Because to
Yeah.
your point, I'm taking the cue from you that you're saying your issue is more physical than psychological, which tells me that you're not trying to necessarily hide your stammer. You're not engaging in a lot of avoidance behaviors. If you're not engaging in a lot of avoidance behavior, you're not feeding the fear, you're not feeding the anxiety. You may still some fear, you may still feel some self-consciousness, a little bit of
Ah, that
anxiety,
is
those
true.
things.
Correct.
And all of those things can be the only way you work through them is to work through them with other people. So, be more social, be more talkative in those situations. And certainly that will also give you an opportunity to do some light voluntary stammering as you're doing it. And I would say specifically start doing some light voluntary stammering on words that you don't stammer very much, and then gradually start doing it on words that you do stammer. Start with words which are easy for you because those words you have more management anyway. So even if you're doing some light voluntary stammering, maybe you're doing some reading practice with it or whatever. First of all, do it in a social situation, read with somebody, read in front of somebody, throw some voluntary stammers in your speech when you're reading with somebody. You can do it alone, but it's not going to be as effective as you're doing it with someone.
Yeah,
So my
at least I can
recommend,
start with the people who stammer. I can start
yeah,
doing that with TISA
yeah.
colleagues.
And that will
Yeah.
help everybody, right?
Yeah.
That will help everybody. You can take turns doing some voluntary stammering with other TISA members. Yeah, sure.
Correct. And I also wanted to add one more thing. At one
Hmm.
point of time, maybe more recently, what I thought was like since the uh, advent of technology like AI has come, so simultaneous text to speech translations also came, right? So what is the need to speak at all? That's I got such thoughts in between. So I will just simply type text and it will translate to speech. What? Why should we bother? We can focus our attention on something useful to the world, to society. I can
I
contribute more like.
know. Yeah, I know. But text to speech feeds into our avoidances. That's the problem.
Hmm.
Uh, we
No, no,
don't.
that is fine. But I wanted to make a more meaningful change to the world. I want to contribute in a more meaningful way rather than getting stuck up in this, so that I can be free at least by doing that. I got a thought like that, so I just wanted to share it with you.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do all these. I mean, if these technologies are working for you, keep doing it, but they should not be a substitute for you to be, they should not result in you being less talkative. That is my
Hmm.
only point. That is my only point. Because if text to speech or with texting versus picking up the phone, doing all this, if you keep engaging in non-verbal communication, non-oral communication, non-verbal communication, because it's
Non-oral.
just
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and more efficient to do it that way, that will also have a consequence, right?
Hmm.
That is a choice that you're making for other reasons, but it's going to impact your stammering experience quite a bit.
Hmm.
A lot of people who stammer, a lot of us felt quite happy with, with texting. I can text instead of making a call. Well, you're losing out on another opportunity to be talkative, to be desensitized, to stammer with eye contact. All of these things are very problematic in the long term for us. The moment we
Hmm.
start going with nonverbal options, it's going to change our experience quite a bit. So, if anything, we need to be more verbal, not less verbal.
Correct. Got it, sir. So I I just w- w- wanted to share this. So it is one of my thought process.
Hmm.
Whether it might play a role in my current condition that I'm into. Maybe
Hmm.
that also I'm not sure.
Raghu, I just want to say one thing. Few minutes back, you said recently, and you said like recently. Do you remember? Few minutes back. I'm recording
Yeah.
this whole in
Yes, sir.
conversation.
Yeah, yeah,
Afterwards, you can
yeah.
see the video recording, and you will notice that you have said
Sure.
recently. So I just want to tell you that what you
Yeah,
did was a technique, and all we are asking you to do is
yeah.
do the same thing, but with more deliberation, with more intention.
Mm.
So in the name of
Sure.
therapy or technique, nobody is asking you to do something strange or funny with your mouth. All we are saying is that
Hmm.
what you're doing, do it with more deliberation. You were saying recently, but it
Yeah.
sounded rather weak. You were not totally there. So all we are saying is this, that whatever you say,
I that when I
do it
was
with more
talking that
deliberation.
I experienced some stiffness here, sir.
Huh, huh.
I was not able to bring that word out. I experienced
Right,
Yeah.
right,
stiffness.
So it
right.
was it
So
was a regular spontaneous stammer for you. So Raghu, let's do some you and I, or everybody here if you want to. Let's do a little voluntary stammering practice. Should we do that?
Sure, de-
Okay.
definitely.
Okay. So let's kind of do it. And one of the illustrations I have is if you think about a graph, right? The y-axis, x-axis. On the x-axis, I'm going to plot frequency. So less frequent to more frequent is the x-axis. And on the y-axis, I'm going to plot light to tight. So you can do some light voluntary stamina. You can also put some effort into it. That's tight, but it's not happening very frequently, so it's infrequent. So light and tight voluntary stammering, infrequent. You can also increase the frequency of the light voluntary stammering and tight voluntary stammering. So my recommendation is, because you want to stammer and you want to go back to an easier form of stammering that you report that you had in the past, Let's try some voluntary stammering, some light voluntary stammering. That way, you're teaching your body that you can be relatively continuous in your speech, relatively forward moving in your speech, but you don't have to put a lot of effort into it.
Sure, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
So,
yeah.
tell me, I'm going to put you on a timer for about 1 minute. Uh, Tell me something about your work.
Uh,
And
mm,
in talking about your work, throw in some light voluntary stammers, some gentle bounces like this every 5 or 6 words. See how that feels for you.
sure, sure. Hi, sir. Uh, Currently, I am working as a project engineer in a company called UL Solutions. I am working in the area of resource assessment. Uh, Basically, what we do is I am Western Ghats.
Mm.
Uh, our work will be to assess the potential of the wind farm and give a bankable report uh, based on which the client will uh, take it forward and they will do their cost benefit uh, uh, analysis, and they will secure the loans from the bank based on our certification as a third party, because we are certified third party to provide authorization for the wind resource potential that actually exist in a proposed site.
Okay.
So basically,
Thank
that is
you.
my work profile.
Thank you. Let's do this. I'm going to ask you another question. You said there are several windy states in India. I don't know what they are. Can you tell me their names? And when you say the name, throw in a voluntary stammer on each word, on each name
Sure,
of the state.
sure. Uh,
Let's try it with nouns.
okay. These states are Gu, 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 Gujarat, uh, Ra, Ra, Rajasthan, uh, M- M- Madhya Pradesh, uh, Te, Te, Telangana, uh, uh, Andhra Pradesh, Ka- Ka- Karnataka, and the Tamil Nadu.
Okay. How did that feel? How did those voluntary stammers on those words feel? Were they tough? Were they hard to do? Did they turn real
Uh,
on you? Because a lot of that happens also to us, where we try to willfully stammer and it turns into a real stammer. Was that happening as well?
I could stammer, but with much more ease. But still, the difficulty, that stiffness is there.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
better.
yeah.
The
So
stiffness is over here,
it's
actually.
not going to it's not going to go away with the click of a finger, but if you keep doing it, it'll get better. That is the point. The experience will change over time. The more you do it, the more experience will change over time. Tell me those states again. Try to do some more voluntary
Sure.
stammering on those, just like that. Get some more practice with it.
Sure. These states are Rajasthan, Gu, Gu, Gujarat, the Madhya Pradesh, uh, uh, Maharashtra, the the uh, the Telangana, uh, 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 Andhra Pradesh, uh, Ka- Ka- Karnataka, and the, the Tamil Nadu.
Was that a little bit easier next time in round two? Harder?
Round two, better compared to round one. Round one.
Yeah. So what you're experiencing is a phenomenon called motor rehearsal, which is when we say something and then we say it again on our own a second time and a third time. We see this in reading a lot, where we start reading, and from the beginning till the end of the passage, we tend to get more forward moving, less stuck, less physically tense. That happens over time to a lot of us. The motor rehearsal has a beneficial effect. So if you keep doing this on a more regular basis, like you're doing right now with me, your stammer was easy, was seemed relatively effortless. You were doing each one of these voluntary stammers with full eye contact. If you just keep doing this on a more regular basis, especially with people who are, let's say, identify who are some trusted communication partners that you can use for this. Initially, it could be people from TISA, that would work. But I think what
Yes.
would be even more effective that if you did voluntary stammering with the person who does not stammer, because
But
that is like real life.
to begin with, I can work with
Yes,
TISA and get some
yes,
confidence, and
yeah, for sure.
gradually I can graduate to the next circle.
Absolutely, absolutely. For any new skill you're learning, you need some training wheels, right? So these will be your training wheels. Yeah.
Yeah, got it, sir.
You're on mute, Sachin.
Thank you, Amit, and thank you, Raghu. Thank you, Raghu, for working with us, for working with Dr. Amit, because instructions don't work unless you work with them.
Correct, sir. I also recollect our conversation when you were in uh, 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 Herbertpur,
Yes.
that the only way to achieve success is to do things uh, uh, repeatedly. The dirty water becomes clean once that turbulence has to be consistent to
Yes.
remove the dirt from the water. So I remember your words basically when we had an interaction at your at our TISA headquarters.
Yeah, actually, they are not my words, but I've read many books on this theme. And every author says this thing that if you want to become a good speaker, you should every day you should speak. And in reading, looking at your WhatsApp message, you
Mm.
yourself have said that you were totally sucked into this highly intellectual stuff, that you had stopped speaking,
Yes.
right? And when you stop speaking, how can you
Yeah.
become better at speaking? It's like this, for last 6 7 months I'm learning Python, but last couple of weeks I have not written a single code. And if today if I were to write a
Mhm.
code, I will be very helpless. I've forgotten half of the things. So same thing goes about
Mhm.
speaking also. Speaking also is a complex motor skill. If you're not practicing it every day, we tend to forget it. It's like doing the people who practice classical music. They do riyaj every day for years. Even after they become expert, well acclaimed singers, even then they never give up their riyaz, their practice. So same thing applies to us also, to you also. If you can keep talking to people, it need not be intense 1 hour SSG meeting, but even if you talk to people on phone
Mhm.
2 3 minutes, that would be good practice.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me now invite Rudra Pratap
Uh,
Singh. Yeah, go on. Do you have any question, Raghu? Go on if you have any questions.
Yes, sir. I also wanted to ask you something. Like, if
Yes.
in continuation with my speaking, can I also do some subconscious training exercise? Like, I am speaking well, uh, you universe is blessing me. So those kind of positive
Definitely, definitely,
affirmations. Yeah.
definitely, you should do that. In fact, many stammerers, without realizing, indulge in a lot of negative self-talk. They don't even
Mm.
realize, but they
So
keep on doing it. I'm a stammerer. I made a mess. I wonder what people are thinking. We keep on indulging in these kind of negative self-talk, and it's a good idea to convert that into a positive self-talk, into something more
yes,
positive affirmations, those kind of thing. So whatever works at
affirmations
subconscious
and also
plane,
that-
whatever works at
yeah,
subconscious plane, yoga, meditation, affirmation, visiting a temple, visiting a holy man, all those things are very good. And you should do that as long as you
yes.
can, and as long as
Uh,
they don't interfere with your regular life, because you're doing a very demanding
correct.
program, I know.
Correct. But in spite of doing this highly demanding program and also highly demanding job, I stick to
Hmm.
my yoga routine,
Hmm.
and I've been practicing yoga since continuous yoga since 3 years actually.
That's very
Since three
good.
years I'm doing it. Yes,
That is very good. That
that
is very,
has
you
had a
should,
profound impact in on my body, sir. That has had a
yes.
profound impact on my body and also my
Yeah.
breathing pattern. Earlier, I used to have wheezing. Now,
Yes.
my breathing is fine, my body is fine, everything is fine except the
Hmm.
stiffness.
I can believe that. I can believe that.
Mm.
But only one thing which I want to say is this: that we should never think of yoga as a substitute for a specific
Mm.
work in a specific area. For example, if you're learning physics, you should not stop learning physics because you are doing yoga. You will learn physics as well as
Mm.
doing yoga. So in the same way, in order to become a good speaker, you should every day practice some talking with strangers. And as Dr. Amit said, non-stammerers would be even better because they would challenge your assumptions. So practice talking as well as doing yoga. Yoga is not a substitute
Yeah.
for speech practice.
Yes, I got it, sir. I wanted to highlight this point because my body is fine, my
Hmm.
mind is also fine,
Yes.
uh, but still I'm experiencing it. So that I
Huh.
wanted to put across.
Honey, I totally understand. Your body is fine, your mind is fine, but you need a little practice in the speech department, in the department of talking to other people.
Correct.
There you need a
Exactly.
little focus practice. So it's totally
Exactly, sir.
understandable,
I understand.
and you will handle it, I'm sure.
Mm.
Good.
Sure, sure. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot
Most
for
welcome.
your encouraging words.
Thank you so much, Raghuveer. You are a wonderful person. I've met you and we have known each other for many years. So
Yes,
good.
sir. Yeah.
So keep in touch and keep on practicing.
Sure, sir. Sure. Definitely.
Okay.
I work in a Bangalore-based company. So whenever I visit Bangalore, I wanted to meet some Tiza guys over there.
A
Because in
whole
Tamil
lot of
Nadu,
them are
it's
there. Whole lot of them are
yes, yes,
there.
yes. That's what I
Dinesh is there. Dinesh is there. Dr. Arjun Raju is there. There are many good people are there, and they'll be very happy to meet you. If you just send them a message in advance, they will give
yeah.
you, a lot of time to present make some presentation or share some story or whatever. They are very good people in Bangalore.
Yes. Because in Tamil Nadu, TISA is not that active, I believe.
Yeah,
So
it's not very
I
active.
was one
Yes.
of the I was one of the co-founder of Co 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 Coimbatore chapter of
Yeah.
TISA, uh,
Yes.
but that is not active now.
Ha,
So
ha,
I just
ha,
wanted to get in touch with TISA people and work through my speech. Uh, I'm also planning to join any like Toastmasters uh, uh, course so that
hmm.
I can practice speaking that there also. Uh, that will be one of the real tests for me. Like it will test our speaking skills to the ultimate extent.
Yes. Right.
It's an excellent idea.
Yes. Yes. Good.
Excellent idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Raghu, thank you so much. And now let me invite Rudra Pratap Singh. Rudra, do you have a question or do you want to share something?
No, sir, I have one question. So first of all, नमस्ते सर जी.
नमस्ते।
Namaste.
मेरा नाम रुद्र प्रताप है. मैं भिलवाड़ा राजस्थान से हूँ.
जी।
और अभी मैं जयपुर में बीटेक कर रहा हूँ कंप्यूटर साइंस में. अभी मैं अपने 3rd ईयर में हूँ. तो सर मैं आपसे ये पूछना चाहता था कि जैसे मेरे को स्टैमरिंग की दिक्कत थी, तो वो तो मैंने ठीक कर ली है मैंने. बस अभी मेरे को वो दिक्कत है, जैसे मेरे को पहले मिस आर्टिकुलेशन की भी थी दिक्कत. तो मैंने अपने अक्षरों के फाउंडेशन पे काम किया, वो भी सही हो गया. पर जैसे मेरे को कभी कभी लगता है कि मैं इसको और अच्छा कर सकता हूँ, कि जो उच्चारण होता है शब्दों का, उनको मैं कैसे और अच्छा बनाऊं,
हम्म।
ताकि सामने वाले को, कहीं मैं कभी कहाँ पे स्पीच दूं, तो सामने वाले को अच्छे से समझ आ पाए.
हम्म। तो उसके लिए, उच्चारण के लिए रुद्र, आपको चूज करना पड़ेगा कि किस चीज के ऊपर काम करना चाहते हैं। किस साउंड पे मिस आर्टिकुलेशन होती है आपकी?
ल नहीं, ल में पहले होती थी, अब नहीं होती. पर
हाँ।
जैसे जो ल अगर मैं शब्दों के साथ बोलूंगा, तो वो
हाँ।
क्या है कि वो इतना पूरी शुद्धता के साथ नहीं आ पाता वो. उसमें
हाँ।
इतनी क्लियरिटी नहीं होती.
हाँ। ओके। तो उसके लिए क्या करते हैं कि जैसे कि मैं स्पीच थेरेपी की एग्जांपल बताऊंगा आपको कि स्पीच थेरेपी में इसके साथ क्या होता है कि हम शब्द चूज करते हैं, केयरफुली चूज करते हैं कि किस शब्द के ऊपर ला है। जैसे कि ला साउंड से, आवाज से किस कितने शब्द शुरू होते हैं। तो एक वर्ड लिस्ट अगर आप बनाएंगे कि किस वर्ड्स के ऊपर प्रैक्टिस करनी है, तो उनको अगर आप किसी ट्रस्टेड कम्युनिकेशन पार्टनर के साथ थोड़ा सा प्रैक्टिस करने की कोशिश करेंगे, बाय देमसेल्व्स, मतलब कि शब्द ही बोलिए। उसके बाद वो शब्द जो है वो सेंटेंसेस में डाल के बोलिए। उसके बाद वो जो सेंटेंसेस, जो जो आपके जो वाक्य हैं, उनको स्पॉन्टेनियस स्पीच में बोलिए। मतलब कि फोकस रहेगा कि आपके बस 4-5 शब्द ही बोलने हैं, ज्यादा नहीं बोलने। लेकिन अपने आप बोलने हैं, शब्द ही बोलने हैं। फिर उन 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 शब्दों को प्री डिटर्मिन्ड जो वाक्य हैं उसमें डालना है। उसके बाद वो सेम शब्द जो है कॉन्वर्सेशन में डालने हैं, किसी के साथ बात करने में, बोलने में। उससे क्या होगा कि आपका फोकस रहेगा। जो भी शब्द के ऊपर आप, जो भी साउंड के ऊपर आप काम कर रहे हो, उच्चारण के ऊपर जो काम कर रहे हैं, उसमें फोकस रहेगा। और वो रियल लाइफ प्रैक्टिस होगी एट द सेम टाइम। तो वो करके देखिए थोड़ा सा। 1-2 शब्द बनाइए, एक लिस्ट बनाइए, उस लिस्ट को प्रैक्टिस कीजिए। और फोकस रहेगा आपका कि मैं इ- इ- इसी आवाज के ऊपर ही मैं काम कर रहा हूँ, ल के ऊपर ही मैं काम कर रहा हूँ, च के ऊपर काम कर रहा हूँ, जो जो भी है।
ओके, ओके,
फोकस
ओके.
के साथ प्रैक्टिस कीजिए। वो सेम शब्द जो है अपने आप बोलिए, फिर वाक्य में बोलिए, फिर कॉन्वर्सेशन में बोलिए। ट्राई करके देखिए उससे क्या क्या फायदा होता है आपको।
ओके, ओके. थैंक यू सो मच सर, मैं ट्राई करूंगा.
श्योर, श्योर।
Good. So, anybody else has any question? Or Dr. Amit, do you want to share something? Raghuveer has raised his
I
hand.
think Raghuveer has something he wants
हाँ,
to say.
yes,
Let's
yes.
uh,
हाँ, बोलिए रघुवीर.
अ, सर मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था, मैंने आपको ऑडियो भी सेंड किया था मॉड 2.1 के बारे में.
हाँ हाँ
आवाज आ रही है सर मेरी?
हाँ हाँ,
अ,
आवाज आ रही, आवाज आ
तो
रही, हाँ
सर,
बोलिए.
सर जैसे मॉड 2.1 में 4 टेक्निक बताई गई है: पॉजिंग, बाउंसिंग, प्रोलोंगेशन और वॉलंटरी स्टैमरिंग. तो सर,
हाँ
बाउंसिंग और वॉलंटियरिंग में मतलब क्या अंतर रहेगा? और जैसे मैंने आपको बताया था कि मुझे अलग अलग सिचुएशन में अलग अलग तरह के मतलब स्टैमरिंग होती है, तो मुझे
हाँ हाँ
कैसा
हाँ,
मतलब वॉलंटरी स्टैमरिंग करना चाहिए?
ठीक है. तो डॉक्टर अमित यहाँ पे हमारे साथ में मौजूद हैं, उनसे बेहतर कौन बता सकता है. तो मैं डॉक्टर अमित को रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि tell us about voluntary stammering and how to go about it.
The way to go about this, रघुवीर, is आपको पहले तो है अपने आप सक्सेस महसूस करने के लिए, एक्सपीरियंस करने के लिए आपको तो थोड़ी सी सेटिंग करनी होगी। इसका मतलब ये है कि आपको चूज करना होगा कि आप किस कम्युनिकेशन पार्टनर के साथ प्रैक्टिस करना चाहते हैं। और उसके लिए मेरी रिकमेंडेशन कि आप लिस्ट बनाइए कि आपके कंफर्ट जोन में कौन कौन है, किस किस सिचुएशन में, कौन कौन सिचुएशन में। अगर आप 4-5 कम्युनिकेशन पार्टनर को रिक्रूट कर सकते हैं, प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं, सिक्वेंशियली उनके साथ प्रैक्टिस कर सकते हैं, वो होगा, दैट विल बी द फर्स्ट स्टेप। उसके बाद क्या होगा कि बाउंसिंग जो है, जिसकी ब ब बाउंसिंग, या फिर जैसे मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि थोड़ी सी ज्यादा स्पीड से, कम स्पीड से, ये लाइट वॉलंटरी स्टैमरिंग है। प्रोलॉन्गेशन भी एक लाइट वॉलंटरी स्टैमरिंग है। बाउंसिंग भी एक लाइट वॉलंटरी स्टैमरिंग है। तो लाइट वॉलंटरी स्टैमरिंग से क्या होगा कि जैसे कि मैं रघु को भी बता रहा था, किसी की हकलाहट जो है एफर्टलेस भी हो सकती है।
हम्म।
उसमें उसमें संघर्ष होना जरूरी नहीं है। ये बात हम जानते हैं, इम्प्लिसिटली हम जानते हैं, क्योंकि हमारी जो स्टैमरिंग है वो फ्लक्चुएट करती है। कभी लाइट होती है अपने आप, कभी हैवी होती है अपने आप। लेकिन ये बात जो है हम भूल जाते हैं। इसलिए इसलिए रिमाइंड करने के लिए हमको थोड़ी सी इसकी लाइट वॉलंटरी स्टैमरिंग की प्रैक्टिस करनी होगी। तो मेरा रिकमेंडेशन ये है कि इन 4-5 टेक्निक्स में से जो भी आपको सबसे आसान लगता है, उस पे
हम्म।
प्रैक्टिस कीजिए पहले। अगर बाउंसिंग आपको सबसे आसान लगती है, उसकी ज्यादा प्रैक्टिस है आपको, उसमें ज्यादा कंफर्ट है आपको, तो उसी से स्टार्ट कीजिए। अम, थोड़ा और भी टेक्निक अगर ट्राई करना है तो कर लीजिए, लेकिन एक फोकस चूज कीजिए। 1 या 2 टेक्निक मैक्सिमम ट्राई कीजिए एट अ टाइम। क्योंकि अगर आप सारी जो टेक्निक प्रैक्टिस करना शुरू करेंगे, पॉजिंग भी है, प्रोलॉन्गेशन भी है, वॉलंटरी स्टैमरिंग भी है, बाउंसिंग भी है, जो भी है, तो इस चीज के लिए जो है आपको माइंडफुलनेस की बहुत जरूरत होती है। और माइंडफुलनेस जो है हमको डेवलप करनी पड़ती है ओवर टाइम।
हम्म।
इट इज नॉट अ डिफॉल्ट रिस्पॉन्स इन द बॉडी। तो इसलिए आपको थोड़ा सा सोचना होगा कि मैं इसी प्रैक्टिस, इसी टेक्निक के ऊपर, मैं बाउंसिंग के ऊपर, लेट्स से मैं आज 2-3 दिन इस हफ्ते मैं प्रैक्टिस करूंगा। आइडेंटिफाई कीजिए कि किसके साथ प्रैक्टिस करेंगे, क्या बोलेंगे। और और अगर हो सकता है तो रिकॉर्ड कीजिए अपने आप को। क्योंकि रिकॉर्ड करने से क्या होगा कि आप जो है एक एक टेम्पलेट बनाएंगे कि मैं ऐसे बोल रहा था, मैं ऐसे लग रहा था, तो मैं रिपीट भी कर सकता हूँ। इसको बुलाते हैं वीडियो सेल्फ मॉडलिंग। इसका मतलब ये है कि आपकी जो भी आपका जो मॉडल है, जो टारगेट बिहेवियर है आपका, वो आप वीडियो पे कैप्चर कर रहे हैं, और जब नेक्स्ट सिचुएशन में जा रहे हैं तो वो वीडियो देख के जा रहे हैं। इसलिए मेरी रिकमेंडेशन ये है आपको कि थोड़ी सी जो भी टेक्निक आपको आसान लगती है, जैसे कि बाउंसिंग है, वो आसान लगती है, उस पे फोकस कीजिए 1-2 हफ्ते। तो उसमें कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा, उसमें स्किल भी डेवलप होगी आपकी।
सर जैसे मैं टास्क मोड 2.1 को रीड कर रहा था, तो उसमें ये टास्क था कि चारों टेक्निक पर 3-3 मिनट के वीडियो बनाने हैं। तो
हम्म।
बाउंसिंग मुझे पता है, प्रोलॉन्गेशन पता है, पॉजिंग पता है। वॉलेंटियरली मतलब इसके बारे में मतलब मुझे पता नहीं, और मैं अलग अलग तरीके से इस्तेमाल करता हूँ कई बार। तो फिर
हम्म।
इसको मैं कैसे परफॉर्म करूँ?
मैं थोड़ा
तो
हैंडल
आपका
कर लेता हूँ
नॉर्मल
इसको मैं।
आपकी
हाँ, आई जस्ट आई जस्ट
अम,
हैंडल दिस बिकॉज
या
क्योंकि
प्लीज प्लीज प्लीज
हाँ,
प्लीज प्लीज गो
ऐसा
अहेड।
रघुवीर, ऐसा है कि हम लोग ने जब ये मॉड्यूल बनाए थे, तो हमारा ये सोच ये था कि जो एक बार टीओपीजी में आ जाता है, मूक शुरू करता है, उसको हम फटाफट सब बता दें कि ये 4 टेक्निक्स हैं, इनको कैसे प्रैक्टिस करना है। लेकिन सच्ची बात तो ये है कि जब असल में कोई थेरेपिस्ट के पास जाता है, तो थेरेपिस्ट उसके साथ एक पक्का एक तरह का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करते हैं कि हम आपके साथ 4 महीने या 4 हफ्ते काम करेंगे। तो उनको पता होता है कि हम पहले हफ्ते में सिर्फ उनको थोड़ा सा ये बताएंगे, दूसरे हफ्ते में थोड़ा और मुश्किल चीज़ें बताएंगे। तो वो एक बहुत ही ग्रेजुअल किस्म का एक एक प्रोसेस होता है जो प्रॉपर थेरेपी में होता है, जहाँ पे थेरेपिस्ट और क्लाइंट दोनों मिलके काम करते हैं पूरी जिम्मेदारी के साथ। लेकिन यहाँ पे चूंकि वैसा अरेंजमेंट नहीं था, तो हमने मूक में वो सारी बातें 2.1 में लिख डाली हैं कि 3 मिनट का वीडियो बनाओ बाउंसिंग का, 3 मिनट का बनाओ प्रोलॉन्गेशन का, वॉलंटरी स्टैमरिंग का, पॉजिंग का। क्योंकि हम चाह रहे थे कि मोटा मोटा लोगों को एक आइडिया हो जाए कि ये बुनियादी 4 टेक्निक है जिनको तीसरा में हम प्रमोट कर रहे हैं। अब इनको टेक्निक कहना भी गलत है, क्योंकि वास्तव में बेसिकली ये सब के सब क्या करते हैं, ये सब के सब जो हैं हमको कॉन्शियसली हकलाने की तरफ प्रेरित करते हैं। दे पुश अस इन द डायरेक्शन ऑफ स्टैमरिंग मोर कॉन्शियसली, मोर डेलिबरेटली। सो इस लिहाज से इनको टेक्निक कहना भी बहुत अच्छा चीज़ नहीं है, क्योंकि इससे कई बार लोगों को लगता है कि एक अलग स्पेशल टेक्निक है, इसको करने से मेरा हकलाना क्योर हो जाएगा। या कुछ लोग ऐसा होता है कि टेक्निक के पीछे ही पड़े रहते हैं, वो कहते हैं 4 टेक्निक काफ़ी नहीं है, वो और भी 5वीं 6वीं 7वीं 8वीं टेक्निक की तलाश में चल पड़ते हैं, क्योंकि उनको लगता है कि टेक्निक्स जो है वो स्टैमिना को क्योर कर देगी। लेकिन वास्तव में टेक्निक सिर्फ ये कर रही है कि हमें बोलने की प्रक्रिया में और कॉन्शियस बना रही है और माइंडफुल बना रही है। तो इस लिहाज से ये 4 टेक्निक जो तीसरा में हम लोग बताते हैं, वो इसलिए बताते हैं क्योंकि स्पीच थेरेपी में भी इन्हीं 4 को जो है वो एक मुख्य रूप में पेश किया गया है। वैसे तो आज की डेट में लोग हजारों टेक्निक निकाल रहे हैं, कोई कुछ कह रहा है कोई कुछ कह रहा है। तो उस कंफ्यूजन से बचने के लिए हम सिर्फ इन 4 तक अपने आप को सीमित करते हैं। और इस 4 में मोटा मोटा आइडिया सिर्फ ये है कि बाउंसिंग भी एक तरह की हकलाहट ही है, जहाँ पे हम कहते हैं कि मेरा नाम सत्येंद्र है, या तुम बोलोगे मेरा नाम र रघुवीर है। तो हकलाने में कई बार यही होता है, मगर हकलाने में जो होता है वो बहुत तेजी से होता है, अनकंट्रोल्ड होता है। यहाँ पे हम उसी को कंट्रोल्ड वे में कर रहे हैं। दूसरा है प्रोलॉन्गेशन, जहाँ पे हम कह रहे हैं मेरा नाम रघुवीर है। ये भी हकलाने में कई बार लोग करते हैं जाने अनजाने, यहाँ पे हम उसे कॉन्शियसली कर रहे हैं। और वॉल्टी स्टैमरिंग जो है वो ऐसा है कि जो हम अनजाने में हम ब्लॉक पे चले जाते हैं, उसी को हम जानबूझकर जेंटली कर रहे हैं, यानी हल्का सा कर रहे हैं, लाइट लाइट स्टैमरिंग कर रहे हैं। तो अगर मैं ऐसा अपना नाम ऐसे बोलता हूँ कि मेरा नाम सत्येंद्र है, तो इसके बजाय मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि मेरा नाम सत्येंद्र है, मैं ज़्यादा टेंशन में नहीं जा रहा हूँ। तो बेसिकली सब टेक्निक आपस में मिलती जुलती हैं। और वॉल्टी स्टैमरिंग को करने के नाम पे आप सिर्फ इतना करो कि आप जैसे भी हकलाते हो उसी का माइल्डर वर्जन रिप्रोड्यूस कर दो, उसी को माइल्ड रूप में कर दो, हल्के रूप में कर दो, बगैर ज़्यादा संघर्ष किए, वही वॉल्ट्री स्टैमरिंग हो जाएगी। अदरवाइज ऐसा नहीं है कि वॉल्ट्री स्टैमरिंग करने के लिए आपको कोई स्पेशल स्टैंडर्ड अचीव करना है, कोई टेक्निकल स्टैंडर्ड अचीव करना है। बस बड़ा सिंपल सा है कि इट शुड बी माइल्ड, इट शुड बी जेंटल, एंड इट शुड बी इन योर कंट्रोल। व्हेन यू आर डूइंग इट यू शुड नॉट बी हेटिंग योर सेल्फ, ये मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ, ये मैं क्यों कर रहा हूँ, ये क्या पागलपन है, ये कौन सी थेरेपी है, ऐसे विचार दिमाग में ना हो। थैंक यू।
हम्म।
और कोई सवाल रघुवीर?
ओके सर, थैंक। नो
अब
सर,
समझ में
अभी
आपको?
मैं जैसे जैसे टास्क परफॉर्म करते जाऊंगा वैसे
हाँ
वैसे सवाल आते
हाँ
जाएंगे।
हाँ, यही बात है कि होता ही है ना कि हमको हमको तो सब कुछ लिख कर वहां पे डालना था, तो हमने सब लिख कर डाल दिया। अगर हमें 1 to 1 बात करना होता तो कभी भी हम सारी टेक्निक आपको एक साथ नहीं बताते। अगर हमारा फेस टू फेस इंटरेक्शन होता, तो हम जरूर आपको पहले बोलते कि थोड़ा सा आप वॉलंटरी स्टैमरिंग करिए, फिर 1-2 हफ्ते बाद हम कहते हैं थोड़ा सा बाउंसिंग कर लीजिए, है ना। तो ये मुश्किल है कि चूंकि मूक में सब कुछ रिटन फॉर्म में रखना था, तुमने सब रिटन फॉर्म में वहाँ पे रख दिया। और लेकिन उसका मतलब ये नहीं कि आपको सब चीज़ें एक साथ करनी है। तो अभी जैसे मैं आपसे कह रहा था कि अभी तो आप टेक्निक के चक्कर में पड़ने के बजाय अभी सिर्फ आप ये करो कि अलग अलग लोगों से आप स्टैमरिंग इंटरव्यू कर डालो, भिन्न भिन्न किस्म के
ओके
लोगों
सर।
से। कुछ लोग, कुछ आपकी अपनी उम्र के हो सकते हैं, कुछ आपसे उम्र में बड़े हो सकते हैं, कुछ कोई मैडम जिन्होंने आपको 8वीं में पढ़ाया था, आपकी जो कोई मैडम टीचर रही होंगी, उनको आप उनसे मिलने जाइए आधा किलो मिठाई लेकर, और उसके बाद उनका इंटरव्यू लीजिए, उनसे पूछिए कि मैडम मैं वही बच्चा हूँ जो क्लास में हकलाता था, और उनसे हकलाने के बारे में बात करिए। तो अभी आपका पर्पस होना चाहिए कि हकलाने के बारे में मैं कैसे ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लोगों से आराम से बात कर सकता हूँ, क्योंकि हकलाने के बारे में जब हमें बात करनी होती है हम बहुत टेंस हो जाते हैं। तो उससे आपको अभ्यास करना है कि बगैर टेंस हुए हकलाने के बारे में कैसे बात करना है। अगले हफ्ते में जब आप ये 4-5 इंटरव्यू कर चुके हैं, उसके बाद फिर आप टेक्निक के ऊपर जाना। इसीलिए मैंने आपको रिक्वेस्ट किया था कि आप 2.1 को स्किप कर दो, अभी आप 3.1 पे चले जाओ। थैंक यू। एनी मोर क्वेश्चंस?
नो सर।
अच्छा, ठीक। अच्छा, रघु का कोई क्वेश्चन है? रघु, हाँ बोलिए रघु। यहाँ पे बिजली नहीं आ रही इसलिए
Just
मैंने अपना वीडियो ऑफ रखा हुआ है।
one question, sir.
या गो ऑन।
Okay.
One question, sir. How different is bouncing from vo- vo- voluntary stammering?
Amit, you can handle
Uh,
It can
this.
be, yeah, it can be as close or as different as you want it to be, is my straightforward answer. It depends entirely on you. See, the important thing to recognize, Raghu, is that the technique is for you. You are not for the technique. So, which basically means you can adapt any of these things to a way that suits you. So I
okay.
can do some voluntary stammering right now. There's no difference between that and bouncing, except with bouncing, it's probably a little bit more slow and more deliberate. But even that is a variation of bouncing. I can bounce quicker. I can bounce a little bit slower. I can do any of these things in an experimental kind of a way, explore what feels comfortable to me. So my recommendation, my suggestion to you is whatever feels comfortable for you. However you can stammer in a more willful kind of a way, however you can willfully stammer, where your body can learn that it can stammer with less effort.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line. That's ultimately is the bottom line. That can you stammer with less effort? Can you teach yourself to stammer with less effort? Can your stammering pattern change towards less effort? And that's all practice. So, straightforward answer to your question is there's no real difference between voluntary stammering, a type of voluntary stammering that is bouncing, but you can also do it. You can also do, like I told you earlier, you can do a tighter version of this, or you can do a lighter version, as in tighter version, tighter version, tighter version, which is a lighter version. So you can be, the important thing is to be playful. The important thing is to be playful and to be experimental with your speech, because the more experimental with you are with your speech, the more forward moving you're going, the more forward movement you're going to experience, and the less fear, less anxiety you're going to experience. So, long-winded answer to your good question, but I don't think conceptually there has to be any real difference between voluntary stammering and bouncing.
So, thank you, sir. Thank you for
Sure.
clarification. Yeah.
Anybody else? Any other questions? Like Raghuveer, do you have any questions? If no, then maybe we can wind up. It's almost like 9:18.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's wind up.
Yes, yes. Let us do that. Yeah. So, parting message to Raghuveer: keep on talking to difficult people, and take a break from your highly intellectual academic pursuits. Spend some time with friends.
Sure.
Just talk, gossip, have some beer.
I used to, I will, it's not that I've stopped talking, but I used to talk, but in a very stiff manner. Like I'm not able to talk in a free manner as you used to do previously.
Because of that, I said
Maybe
beer.
lot of
Have
things in my
some.
mind is going on. Maybe that is, yeah,
Because of that, I'm saying beer. Have some beer with friends.
sure, sure.
Loosen up.
I am a partly teetotaler, but recently just started with this, but
So
it's
in that case, you can have some strong coffee.
yeah, sure.
The idea
So
is this
Raghu,
that
did you grow up in?
yeah, go
I'm
on.
sorry, I was asking you a personal question. Did you grow up in Coimbatore?
Yes, sir. I am born and brought up in Coimbatore.
In
I
Coimbatore.
am currently working for a Bangalore based company, but I am working from home. It's a basically a US based company, but in India the office is in Bangalore. But they
Okay.
have given the work from home option. So that basically a remote option. Remote
Ah,
option.
okay. Okay. Yeah, my wife is from Kerala. That's the other reason I was asking you. She's originally her family's from Alagat, and
That is very close
yeah,
to Coimbatore.
yeah, yeah. She spent a little bit of time in Cochin and so on, which is called Kochi now, right? It's not called Cochin
Yes,
anymore.
it is called Kochi. Yeah, Kochi.
Acha, acha. Okay. Yeah. Well, it was lovely to
So
meet you, and good to see Raghuveer as well. Always a pleasure to be here, and probably see you next Saturday, Sachin.
It's
yeah.
same here, sir.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you, Amit. Thank you so much
Okay.
for joining us. It's always fun to have you around.
Sure, of
So,
course, my pleasure. Okay, talk to everybody later. Bye.
okay. Okay,
Thank
bye.
you so much, uh, 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 Amit sir, and also Sachin sir, and all the
Uh,
participants in
uh,
this meeting. Yeah.
I just want to say
Likewise. Bye.
one last thing to Raghu. Raghu, you know Sadhguru. You are very close to Sadhguru. Sadhguru.
Yes, I'm very close to his. Yes, yes, yes. Actually,